We gather here tonight to bring women back to their rightful place.
The Testaments, a new Hulu original series from the executive producers of The Handmaid's Tale.
It's easier to accept a story than believe that the people around you are monsters.
The battle isn't over.
There comes a time when you have to take action, when you have to choose your own destiny.
Never quite as it seems.
Watch the new Hulu original series, The Testaments, streaming on Hulu and Hulu on Disney Plus for bundle subscribers. Terms apply.
Listen, all you New Yorkers. Taxi.
Okay, man, we're looking around.
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
Let's talk about something. What makes a thief a thief? I think we can figure that one out, don't you? For the most part, depends what are you thieving. If somebody's knocking over a liquor store to support a drug habit, I think we got that figured out. If somebody's stealing stuff in order to fence the goods, I think we got that figured out. But if somebody's a compulsive thief for reasons that we don't know, that's a different story. That's a different story. Now, we don't know that. When you talk about other things too, a hoarder. Hoarding is the most, I love that. Do you know any? Have you ever seen this in action? It is one of the most fantastically interesting, I guess, maladies there is. I saw this one time, and I noticed the look on the face. It was an elderly person whose family was trying to clean up their house, clean up the stuff, whatever this word, the detritus or what have you. And the elderly person had to sit there and watch their property being disposed of or put aside, and it was torture. It was the saddest thing you have ever, ever, ever seen in your life. To see this, to see the behavior, to see and you can ask yourself, what is it that they do? What is the purpose of this? I am fascinated by that. Now, the best part is, just because I am able to diagnose something, just because I am able to say this is called hoarding, we don't know why. The question is, let's find out, why do people hoard? What is the mechanism behind it? Why do some do and some not? Here's another one while we're on this subject. People who cut themselves. This is the thing which is absolutely phenomenal. Terrible, but fascinating. But as far as the hoarding goes, at its very core, remember the Collier brothers? Ever hear this? Read this in New York Times. There's a history. There's a wonderful piece about how I think it was the Upper West Side, where these two brothers lived, and they found a car, it's like a Model T or something, in their apartment. The Collier brothers, very favorite. But the perception of value and fear and loss. The brain, it is believed, I guess, assigns some kind of an emotional weight or worth to objects that most people would dismiss. You would look at it and go, it doesn't really matter. A receipt isn't a receipt. It becomes proof of a moment. A broken chair, for example, isn't trash. It becomes something that might be useful one day. I might need that one day. I might need those magazines. I may need those old textbooks that don't make any sense. And the mechanisms are incredible. This fear-based decision-making, people who hoard, it is thought, have an exaggerated fear of wasting something, losing something important, or needing an item later and not having it. This makes no sense to most people, but what if I need this? I remember hearing this one time. And this ties into some kind of a weird, I guess you call it a survival wiring. See, the brain is saying, keep it just in case. Just in case. Now, that'd be terrific if you were a historian, but this is different. In ancient times, that instinct kept people alive. Today, it fills garages with, old bicycles that don't work. Then there's the emotional attachment to the objects. This is something that maybe it was somebody experienced a loss. Maybe somebody who has unstable relationships. Throwing something away doesn't feel like cleaning. It feels like you're erasing a part of yourself. Now, remember, when you hear this, you can't say to yourself, well, I don't know what that means. It makes no sense to me. It doesn't matter what you think. And then there's this part, which is this cognitive overload, this indecision. Hoarding is linked to, they say, an impaired decision making. Every object triggers like, should I keep this? What if I need it? And then there's this weird part of the reward system. This is another one. When that misfires, people obviously are getting a dopamine hit by this. Something is hitting them. And also, the most important, the control in a chaotic world. Just like people who are obsessive compulsive, people who have to know specifically, people who wash their hands, people who won't touch, who won't shake, people who live in this weird world. Then these loops, anxiety and avoidance, it's phenomenal. It is so interesting. But the thing about it, though, is when you see this, it's not that they're crazy, but there's just something that is misfiring. And everything that they have, every part of their behavior, dealt with a particular a particular ideology, or not an ideology, a thought process that was beneficial at once, but now it's unnecessary. Now it's vestigial. We don't need this anymore. It's like an appendix. We don't need this anymore. It doesn't serve any purpose. And to sit there and try and, oh my God, to have somebody go through this. And then there's something about the hoarding itself begins to increase the hoard. I've seen this. And it's something that I absolutely, you don't understand something. Everything they're doing is based on a feeling that you have. Compulsive gamblers. Another one. Fascinating. This is the thing which is so, the people who their lives are ruined, and you're saying, but why? And the best part is when somebody says, well, I don't have that, and they can't see into it. People who are addicted to chocolate. I've seen this as well. I know this. People aren't kidding. Maybe they're not really addicted in the classic sense. But there are people who are, one time I'll never forget this. I worked at at a radio station. And there was a woman in the next studio, and you could see into it. She had, while the show was going, I'll never forget this, while the show was going on, she was the board operator. She took all of her toys. You're going to think I'm kidding. She had little figurines like action figures and, Marvel or Captain America, these little toys. And she took them out and she was cleaning them. She had a mask on, gloves, and she's spraying each of these toys and lining them up. I was riveted. Meanwhile, she hasn't answered a phone call. I don't know if she's done anything, if she's fired a spot, if she's done anything with the commercials, but she's a board operator. But she spent the entire morning, each figurine, Captain America, Aquaman, Batman, spraying them with the cleaning, buffing them off, shining them up, lining them up. And I thought, dear God. And I went and I was very, very diplomatic. I said, by the way, may I ask you a question? And because I noticed there were other people as well. I said, I'm just curious. Are you a part of some federal program that basically where you receive a stipend or something for perhaps having these? I'm serious. These weird people, not weird people, these strange people. He says, what are you talking about? I said, you don't know that you've got a board operator who's lining up figurines and spray? No. I said, you don't know this. Nobody's ever complained to you. I said, okay. And it was, you could have just told me, listen, you got 2 hours to kill. You want to watch a movie? You want to go? No, I said, no. Let me just sit and watch this. Because you got to understand something. What you consider crazy, I consider alternative.